Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Film Box Podcast, a movie podcast where each week we reach onto our shelves and dive into the films that we own on physical media, whether it's a beloved classic we've watched countless times or a hidden gem we're re-experiencing for the very first time. From VHS and DVD to Blu-ray and 4K, we revisit, rewatch, and re-examine films throughout history, good or bad. I'm your host, Aaryn Susan. I'm joined today by my good friend, Sam Majewski, and we've got a couple special guests today, because today we are doing a dad movie draft, and what better way to do a dad movie draft than to bring in our dads. So say hello.
Hello.
You hit that right, Aaryn. Special guest.
Special
Certainly
guests
are special.
in more ways than one. So this is going to be a very fun episode. We are doing a dad movie draft, and we're doing this now for a few reasons. One, this is going to be Sam's last episode for a while. So we decided to make it a very special one. And this has been kind of something that we've been brewing up a little while. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a great draft to go over today. But before we do that, I just want to real quick touch on some news that happened in the industry. Unfortunately, we lost Rob Reiner and his wife who were killed last week. It's very sad, and this is for me, I know one of the filmmakers that I think had some of the biggest impact on me, but you wouldn't really realize it when you look at face value. But he's made a ton of movies that I have been just influential to so many people, The Princess Bride and A Few Good Men and Stand By Me, and just some great films. So I wanted to open up to the floor here to, if anyone had anything to say about Rob Reiner before we dive in.
All right, so I know before the podcast started, Bob and I were a little anxious to get talking here, so we already started talking, and then we were yelled at by our kids that, hey, we're not even recording yet. What the heck are you guys talking about this stuff? It's because I think for Bob and I, we're neophytes on this. We're newbies. We've never done a podcast, so this is this should be interesting.
I didn't hear action. I don't know what I'm doing.
So I think the one thing that Bob was saying, it's like he was a pretty substantially successful actor and director. Good movies that are out there, but for me, after reading more about it, I didn't realize all the movies that he did direct or produce and things like that was interesting. Like, I didn't realize that Princess Bride, one of my all-time classic favorites, that he directed that. So usually when the credits go by, you always forget the directors, especially when they're just basic movies and stuff like that. But they're pretty damn good movies.
Oh yeah, and he was the kind of actor. I mean, he's been on record in the past. He was the kind of director who didn't want to bring attention to the fact that he was directing the movie. He was very good at placing the camera and filming stars of movies and not bringing attention, not doing a lot of crazy camera moves, not bringing attention to the fact that it was like this was a directed by Rob Reiner movie.
Yeah, and what's funny with me is that growing up, I knew, All in the Family, Archie Bunker and Meathead and everybody. Yeah. And, it wasn't until years later that when he left, when that show ended and he started directing, I never put the two and two together. I was like, oh, that's Meathead. Now he's a director and a producer. So that was years later. I didn't even realize that.
It was a long time for me. Of course, my problem is too with movies is I never really know who the directors, and sometimes I don't even know who the actors are. I get engrossed in becoming the part of the movie that I really like, and the credits come, and I half the time I don't remember who. I can picture them. I know who they are, but to recite their names doesn't happen for me.
Yeah, one of the categories.
Yeah, I find that with newer movies, Bob. The newer movies that are out, I don't know who the hell these actors and actresses are. So I'm glad that the draft that they did really puts us in our space that we were able to relate to.
I recognize a lot of the movies. Some of the movies
I wasn't going to ask you guys
I don't even know what the title is.
I wasn't going to ask you to pick 2020's Best Picture nominees or anything like that. Like that would have been impossible. But No, I think
that would not have been a podcast show.
No, it wouldn't. Not at all.
That'd have been like, Dad,
I would have had to.
Nah, I'm out.
I would have had to have binge watched movies for like 3 weeks in order to catch up on all the new stuff.
Yeah, I'm out. Too much work.
But I think that's a good place to transition a little bit into, Sam and I have been doing this podcast for almost 3 years, and people kind of understand who we are as movie fans, kind of what our tastes are, and but I would love to hear from both of the dads about like what growing up with the movies was like, and what kind of what it meant to you as a kid growing up into early adulthood and that sort of thing.
Well, I don't know. For me, I mean, we didn't even have a TV in the house until I was 8, and then it only got 2 channels, and both of them usually had a snowstorm on them. So I used to go to the movies a lot. We used to go to the theater. But back then, probably up until the time I was 10, so in the late 60s, the matinee was 50 cents.
Jeez.
So all I needed to do was get 50 cents, and my cousins and I, we'd get 50 cents, and we'd walk to the theater in the city, and we'd be gone for 4 hours, 6 hours. We'd watch 2 movies or 3 sometimes. Of course, the movies seemed that they were a lot shorter back then. They hardly ever ran 2 hours.
Yeah, the 90-minute movie is become a bit of a lost art today, for sure.
I mean, movies to me that was the thing. That was just something for us kids to do. It wasn't today. It's almost like, if I want to go out to the movies with Mom, it's a luxury. It's like, all right, let's go out to the movies, But back then, when I was a kid, that's what I did. I mean, a lot of times we go to the movies. And I saw special things, right? Saw Muhammad Ali fight at the movie theaters, all those things. Joe Frazier, cool. All those things were telecast at the movie theaters when I was growing up.
That's cool.
We'll bounce into a little bit in the future here because of the. No offense, Bob. You got a few years on me, so it wasn't exactly. It wasn't exactly like that when I was a kid, but I remember
by the time
I
was 15, it was different. But
yeah, sure. So my experience with movies and TV and stuff like that was mid 70s. I remember when I was a kid. We had a TV in the house, but it was, this big and it was black and white. And same thing, you got about 4 channels and some of them were snow and you could only see certain things at certain times. And then for movies, for me, I was the youngest of 3, my 2 brothers. And, they would go to the movies all the time. And then I really didn't start going to the movies till like the late 70s when Star Wars came out.
Yep.
That's when I started. Our big thing as a kid was going to the drive-in. We would go to the drive-in in the big station wagon and with the family and load the car up, and we'd go to the drive-in, and that was the cheapest way to get into the movies. But I think when I first started going, it was probably $3 a person, something like that, $2-3 a person when I started going. But the drive-in was big for us.
We used to go to the Fairhaven Drive-In. It's gone now, but it was $4 a carload, and we'd put as many friends as we could in the car. But it was only good for the summertime. Wow.
You drive. Bob, I'm not sure it's fancy. I mean, for whatever drive-ins are open now, but you would go up, you would pull up near a pole and be a speaker on the pole on a cord. And you would roll down your window a little bit, take the speaker, hang it on your window, and that was the sound for the car.
AM station or something.
Yeah. And they would pipe it through that little metal speaker. It looked like a small toaster.
You hung it on your window.
With a little clip that would hang on the window.
That. All the drive-ins were kind of like that when I was young. And then as I got older, it was like, oh, yeah, now you can come to this drive-in. You tune in to like some obscure AM channel and it plays through the radio on your car. But then that was a disaster for a lot of us kids because we were young and we didn't have the best cars, so we'd listen to a movie and then none of us could leave. There'd be 5 or 6 dead batteries out there.
But I really think, Bob, I don't know about you, but I really think part of it was a way of getting our parents to get us to go to sleep too, because a lot of times I don't remember even watching the entire movie. You know, you're sitting in the back seat or laying down, you're out cold. Next thing you know, you're waking up the next morning. So I think that was a secret ploy from our parents to get us to fall asleep.
But it was easy. I don't know how kids go to the movies today. Like to go to a movie theater, even if we didn't go, like, all right, so I talked when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, 50-cent matinees were common Saturday afternoons, right? But even during the week, if you went, I don't think it ever cost more than $2 or $2.25 for a ticket. And $1.75 at most places. So it was like you could almost afford to go to the movies. But today,
I will say today,
going to the movies. Holy crap.
The discount Tuesdays, which are, you know, the Tuesdays are usually the days today nowadays. It's like $8 a ticket. On the weekends, the last time I went to the movies, then paid, because I get to go for free a lot. The last time I went to the movies, it cost me like $18 for a ticket. So
my grandmother would give me $2, and I could go to the movies, to the matinee, and have candy and soda or popcorn and soda, and still have a few pennies left for my pocket. God. And if I really wanted the money, I just wouldn't get the candy or the soda or something. Just keep the change.
I'll tell you what. Em and I went on my birthday. We went to a movie, and I was invited to the screening, so we had free tickets, and it was on my birthday. So at a showcase, which I'm a member of, so I had a free birthday popcorn, and it still cost us almost $15 in concessions for one soda and one bag of Doritos. It was unbelievable.
I'm serious. I don't know what they think. You order a large popcorn and a large soda, and the bill comes back as $32.50. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
we used to go to the little store next door to Southbridge Twin Cinema, and stuff boxes of candy down our pants and sneak in the building, so we would have that.
It makes me sorry I ever snuck popcorn in the theaters. You know, somebody out
never
of
did that. Never did that. I'll tell just a real quick story too. Just go way back. I remember stories from my mom and from my grandmother back during the Depression. When they, and Bob probably knows this too, is to get people to start going to the movies again, they would give away dinner servings, glassware to people who would go to the movies to get them to go back, and that's what's called. And it's really popular right now, and some people collect it like crazy. It's called Depression glass, and it was like green and pink, right, Bob? I mean,
green and pink and amber, I think.
Yeah, and that would be what they would do is that you would pay for a ticket, and you would get a piece of a dinnerware, cups, saucer, plates, things like that, and then
looking around,
people would try to build
some of that.
People would try to build their collection, and funny thing is my mom still has the Depression glassware that my grandmother and my great grandmother got when they went to the movies back in the 20s.
So the whole market was to keep you coming back to complete the set.
Yeah, piece of history.
That's really cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's really cool. Look at that.
That's why you got the old guys on the
literally.
And that was back in the day, you youngsters. That was back in the day when they made glass out of glass.
Okay. Right.
I really wish I was keeping like a bingo board, and like however many times it's like back in my day, or you youngsters, or you have no idea, and I just knock off and just have a bingo by the end of the podcast. All right, well, why don't we dive into the actual draft? Sure. We have concocted a dad movie draft, which has quite a few different categories here, which I'll just run down right now. So our categories are Western, war movie, 80s action, starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood. So those are movies that star at least one of those four actors, but there are a couple that have double billing, so keep that in mind. Sci-fi movies, pre-1970s classics, our misunderstood category, which we pull into all of our movie drafts. Those are under 60% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and a wild card. So if you've never listened to a movie draft before, we will determine a draft order, and then you pick, each person will get a choice to pick a movie in any category that they want. Once a movie is picked, it is off the board for everyone else, and they cannot pick in that category again. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got, how many categories is that? 8, and we've got 4 people, so that's 32 movies that are going to come off the board here. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But before we dive into the draft, Sam, you got to get us a draft order.
Yes, I do. All right. Share that. Got the 4 names. Got a little spinner.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. All right. And then who will be picking first? And it will be me. All righty.
Wow, that's a shock. Sam usually gets last.
I usually get last.
Rig.
Actually, I don't like picking first, but anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Second.
Picking first is a little tough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn
All
it,
right.
I'm gonna go last. It's gonna be me.
Hey, I go last in
Dad.
every draft, it seems.
All right. Third.
All right. Oh, I'm going last. All right.
All right.
And finally, we got to spin the wheel for me.
Oh.
And there I am.
There you are.
There I am. Yay.
I should have
So
bet on
this
that
is-
one. Can't lose.
Yeah, I know. So this is snake draft style. So first pick, Sam will go 1st. We'll go over all the way through to me, and then I will get 2 picks back to back, and then we'll go back through the order to Sam. Sam will get 2 picks, and then we'll go back through, so it goes around. So I guess
So your first pick is first pick is 1, and then on my second time around I pick 2.
You pick
no. So you will always pick 1, but the order will go Sam, Dad, you, me, and then me, you, Dad, Sam, and then Sam. So it's like we're kind of like going like it's called snake draft style, right?
See how they worked that out? Dads get 1 pick, kids get 2 picks.
Honestly, your positions are pretty good. They're pretty like Sam he gets first pick, but now he has to wait 7 picks before he gets to go again. So a lot of movies will come off the board in that time.
That's why I don't like going first, but it's fine.
All right, let's kick it off, Sam. Why don't you bring us the inaugural pick of the Dad movie draft?
The first movie that is going to be coming off the board is one of my top favorite movies. It's probably one of my top 5, definitely favorite movies of all time. I'm going to dive into the war movie section category. And this movie is very good. It's directed by one of the greatest directors of all time, and it's very emotional. It's going to be Schindler's List in my war category.
Wow. Schindler's List coming off the board.
Gotta get
Is that on the thing? Yeah, it is. All right. Schindler's List off the board. Number 1 pick.
Yeah.
All right. And that brings us around to Dad. Your pick.
My pick is my number 1 all-time favorite movie of all time. It is Tombstone. And
yeah, I knew it.
I like
I had this pegged.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like this movie. Mostly not for the historical aspect of Tombstone, and it was an actual event, but for the fact that this movie was done so accurately with clothing, accessories, scenery, weaponry. The movie went as far as to borrow weapons from museums to depict accuracy in the time. And I find that historically very, very pleasing for me because I'm a historical buff with Western firearms. So that's why I really like that movie. That, and I know a lot of the lines.
Yeah, right.
Because I've only seen it 300 plus times probably.
I want to make
Star Wars.
Yeah. I want to make a note on that. So a couple years ago, I had Dad download Letterboxd, and on Letterboxd, for those who don't know, you can, in your profile, you can list your 4 favorite movies, and Dad has used this maybe once in his life, this platform, but on his profile, the only movie that is in his 4 favorites is Tombstone.
Tombstone.
It's just one entry, and it's just Tombstone. Oh man! So I had a feeling that one was coming off the board.
Yeah.
Should we start a riot a little bit, Bob? That movie sucks. That's the worst movie out
there. Oh God.
That's okay.
No, I'll give it a thumb.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Not that it matters, right?
No,
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like the movie, man. It's just like my movie.
All right.
I'll still stop and watch it. I'll be clicking through, and it'll be like 3/4 of the way done. Oh, I'll finish this out.
Yep. As soon as the Erp Vendetta ride starts, like, yeah, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, you got your first pick here.
Yeah, this is difficult because 2, 4, 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 8 categories are my favorite genre. But
this. It's almost like we picked this for a reason.
Yeah, I have favorites and everything, but I'm going to mix it up. But I'm going to go with sci-fi movies. So it can classify under either pre-70s classics or sci-fi. But I'll hit sci-fi, and it's the original The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
The Day the Earth Stood Still. All right. I don't think I have that here in the pre-70s classic, so let me write that in. Earth
It seems to me I remember something about that movie.
Yeah, tell us why you like it.
So it's just I'm a big sci-fi geek. Star Wars, the originals are my favorite of all times. I grew up with that years and years and years. I'm like Bob. I can recite probably 3/4 of the movies and stuff like that. But
don't know who directed them though.
Yeah. It's just a really neat movie. What happens is a alien spaceship comes to Earth, and there's a robot whose name is Gort, and there's an alien, he looks human, named Klaatu, and they're coming to Earth to tell Earth, hey, you better get your shit in gear because you guys are doomed for destruction, and you need to start changing your ways and stop fighting and things like that. It's black and white. It's 1950. Where is it?
51.
1951.
1951. Yep.
It's just a really cool movie. Not much special effects, but some in the early years like that. And it was something I grew up with, my dad watching and stuff like that. And just a really interesting movie. And the other thing that I learned years ago is there's one scene that Klaatu is speaking to Gort, because Gort doesn't talk. He just stands at the end of the spacecraft, and he's just this dominating figure, big silver figure that's just his visor opens and he shoots a laser beam out and he melts things and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool back coming from the 1950s era. But there's one scene when Klaatu talks to Gort. He goes, Gort. He goes, Niktu Klaatu Barada. And he makes these 3 words, and it kind of activates him and he does something. Well, years ago, what I realized is, and I read this too, is that during Return of the Jedi, when they're at Jabba's palace and on the skiff, and if you've ever taken the action figures from that era, there are 3 characters that are from Jabba's skiff in his castle named Niktu, Klaatu, and Barada.
That's cool.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
George Lucas kind of took that because his big thing was samurai movies and old sci-fi movies. So he actually named 3 of his characters the words that Klaatu used during The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
That's really
I
cool.
did not know that. All right, I've got 2 picks here, back to back. And I have a pretty good idea of where I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to dive right into my starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood category. And I am going to take one of my 4 favorite movies of all time. And that is going to be a starring Robert Redford, 1976's All the President's Men.
And yeah.
Which is, for my money, one of the greatest dramas ever written. A movie where they get so much thrill and anxiety and tension out of basically guys interviewing people and writing a story. And it's just so well done. It's, obviously Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman in the movie. And directed by Alan Pakula, who has one of the better filmographies out there. Just a really good movie. Came 3 years post Watergate too. The movie's about Watergate, and it would be like today releasing a movie about COVID. It's it's weird to think that it was so close to that event. And they were still learning stuff about what everything happened, and yet they were able to make a movie that was just absolutely phenomenal and a great peek into the journalistic process in crafting some of these stories. So I'm taking All the President's Men, and then in my Western, I will be taking another movie. This is a movie that I think was the first film that the first R-rated film that I ever saw, and it was something that you showed me. I think I was in 6th grade. I was probably too young to be watching this movie. But that is 1992's Unforgiven.
Yeah, good movie.
Starring, of course, Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman.
Yep.
But no, this is just an incredible, an anti-Western in that it's not all about the gunslinging and of the even of Clint Eastwood's the Dollars trilogy and that sort of thing, about a retired outlaw who gets pulled back into the game after a woman is brutally disfigured, and then this guy played by Clint Eastwood has this conflict with this sheriff who's kind of like a dirty sheriff almost, who's played by Gene Hackman, and there's just this clash of personalities that's just so good. So I'm going with Unforgiven in my Western.
There was a lot of good actors in that movie, actually.
Yeah. There was it was
Morgan Freeman.
Yep. And then
right? And Richard
Richard Harris.
Richard
Harris, yep. It's a great cast. Yep.
That won an Academy Award, didn't it?
It did.
Best Picture,
It did. It won won Best Picture, and I believe Hackman won for
let's see, Best Picture, Best Directing, actor, maybe? And Best Film Editing.
Yeah, so it was nominated for a ton, and it won for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for Gene Hackman, and Best Film Editing. So
it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was. And again, I saw this when I was 11. So maybe a little too early to see it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad. But I think what I liked about it was, again, the history of it, what people did to provide, I mean, here's a guy that lost his wife who took him out of the gutters and the saloons and the gunfighting. And now he's got 2 children struggling, poor, no money, no food, so to speak, sick hogs. And you can kind of see where it just builds up to where, okay, this is the life I know. These people are offering simple money for retribution. You know what I mean? I should be able to go out there, get it, and come back. And, and that's what it is. It was a good movie. There's a lot to think about in that movie.
Yeah. And one of the most heartbreaking endings, too, because, it builds up to this moment of, he's back, and now he's murdered everyone in this saloon, basically. And he comes back home, and his kids are gone. And his wife is dead, as you said. And it's this final shot of him at his wife's grave, and then the movie ends. And it's oh, this guy didn't have a happy ending. Like it's probably the worst ending, and it really makes you think.
Yep.
It leaves
all right,
you a
Greg,
little
back
bit
to
to
you.
wonder too, you know.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Back to me.
Back to you.
All right, we'll go with oh boy. All right, we'll go with westerns. I had a couple of them to pick from. I won't pick my one of my favorites. But there's another one that I never really watched it until maybe a few years ago. I'm a classic Western guy, so Clint Eastwood, John Wayne. Again, growing up, my dad was a big John Wayne fan, so watched a lot of John Wayne movies with him. But it was a movie about John. It's John Wayne movie. It's called The Cowboys.
Okay.
Oh, good movie.
So
sad movie.
So what that takes place is that John Wayne is this Will Anderson, and it's 1972.
Yep.
So John Wayne is a rancher, and he has 400 head of cattle to move, or 1,000 head of cattle to move 400 miles to sale, and all of his hands, his hands on his ranch, they all leave him because it's the gold rush in California. So they said, hey, we're all going to get rich, and we're going to head up to California and try to make it rich with gold. So he's stuck. He doesn't know what to do. So he goes to the local school and he recruits a bunch of boys, a bunch of kids. I mean, they're anywhere from, maybe 10 or 11 up to teenage years. And what I find, what I like about the movie is again, there's a lot of action. There's the criminals. Bruce Dern is the head of the,
yeah, that's right.
He
played in that.
Yeah, and then so he was kind of the head criminal guy, kind of chasing John Wayne and trying to get his cattle and stuff. But so he recruits all these young kids, and as you can imagine, with young kids with no experience being in school like that, they're all clueless. They have no street sense and or horse sense or prairie sense and stuff like that. And what's fun to watch the movie is the relationship that grows between the kids and John Wayne, and how it's like a coming to life type movie where you can watch them grow. And at the there's even a scene during the movie, and you kind of relate this to yourself too, where there's one scene. And the other thing that's funny is Roscoe Lee Brown, who's a pretty famous actor. This is the first time these kids have. He's the cook. He's the chuck wagon cook who drives the chuck wagon and cooks for the
Cowboys.
The Cowboys, and then the boys have never seen a black man before, so that was another thing that was pretty interesting on that. But there's one scene where John Wayne likes his liquor, and he had stored bottles in the chuck wagon, and one night the kids steal a bottle and they sneak into the woods. And they get all inebriated, and
nice.
and then so John Wayne and Jebediah is the cook's name. They see them and they find them and they see what they're doing, and they kind of teach them a lesson where they kind of let them do their thing. They go to bed, and then don't you know, at 3 a.m. in the morning they're kicking them. Okay, let's go, guys, time to go. And everything, and they're all
that's
hungover and everything like that. So that's kind of a coming to age where it's these life learned lessons and stuff like that. And it goes through, and they make it across, and they have tussles with Bruce Dern and his bunch, and then you really see the transformation from the boys into men. And at the end of the movie, and well, I hate to spoil the movie because if you guys want to watch it, but at the end of the movie, John Wayne does die at the end, and they try, and you see the respect that they have for him as their leader and their kind of like father figure type thing. So
It really was a coming of age movie.
Mm-hmm.
They all grew up a lot in that movie.
Yep.
And I like the example that John Wayne, his whole character was that example of an honorable, honest man doing what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it. Even turning his back on Dern at the end.
And there was a lot of tough love in it. He didn't hold any punches with these kids. He was going to make them grow up or else, type of thing. So
interesting.
Kind of love I grew up with.
Yeah. Yeah, in some ways
we do not need to dive into that this episode. Yeah. But all right, well, Dad, it is your pick now.
Oh, it's my pick? Oh, that's
yep.
Ready for that.
Hey, join the club. I do a lot of these drafts. I try not to prep, and so when it's my pick, it's like, well, what am I gonna do? We'll see.
Well, I guess for me, let me see. Where's my papers here? Sorry, I'm off screen a little bit here.
You're good.
I'll do the war picture next. It's really a toss-up between a couple. Let me make sure this is the one.
Well, you don't pick mine, Bob.
There's a lot of war movies too in this category. Like, this is maybe one of the more stacked categories.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if the one I like is on your list.
Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, Greg has taken. I have all of these movies prepared, and Greg has taken 2 movies not on the list. So
I have more that are on the list that I got.
Oh, great!
All right, so
good.
War picture that I liked. See, I don't really know if I know the name of it, but it's She Wore a Yellow Rose.
All right, let's see. She wore a
it's
yellow
a John
ribbon.
Wayne film. His son
she wore a
is in
yellow
it.
ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 1949. She wore a yellow ribbon.
The 40s.
Okay.
50s. John Wayne movie. His son is in it. It's about an old cavalry soldier. It's a war picture. It's just Western times. An old cavalry soldier, and he's coming up retirement, and the last battles and all of that, and it's kind of just a really cool movie.
Nice.
All right.
That's all I got to say about it. I liked all the horsemanship, and
it's like Forrest Gump, and that's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
This is an interesting, not a pick I expected. There's quite a few war movies here. I was not expecting She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, but this is why I wanted to do this draft, because
well, you talk about Wore a Yellow Ribbon. That's significant with it was a lot during the Gulf War during the 90s, where people were passing out yellow ribbons for the troops. So it kind of goes in
nice.
It's kind of the reason why they have the yellow ribbons, so it's like support of your troops.
Well, they sang that song, right, in the movie, right? Every time they marched off to battle to the Indian Wars, they would sing "She Wore a Yellow Ribbon for a lover far, far away," and it was about being in war and a retired guy going and meeting the end of his time and new troops taking over, and it's a good movie, touching.
Nice. Well, Sam,
right.
That brings us back to you. You've got 2 picks.
I do have 2 picks, and surprisingly, none of the previous 6 movies.
Well,
got picked.
if you had the Cowboys, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, or The Day the Earth Stood Still on your list, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, right. But I'm the only one that needs Western, so I can hold off on that because I'm pretty sure that's not going to get picked in a different category. So I'm going to dive into Newman, Redford, and Hackman and Eastwood. I'm going to pick the first movie in the Man with No Name trilogy, and that will be A Fistful of Dollars.
Nice. Good pick.
Good movie.
Good pick.
Yeah. That trilogy is really good. Again, you can't go wrong with Clint Eastwood, especially with him in the 60s. He had a roaring 60s, so
kind of the man on top. And I never realized, I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Eastwood films, but you've got the all of the spaghetti westerns, which is where I knew him from. But then you've got like Dirty Harry, and you've got kind of those cop movies, and he's done a ton.
Mm-hmm.
You end up getting in the 70s, you get movies like Escape from Alcatraz, and movies like that. Like, and then he goes into directing, which is this whole other venture that he's incredibly good at, and he's still directing movies. This guy had a movie come out last year called Juror Number 2.
I know, he's like 90.
Yeah, he's in his mid 90s and he's still making movies. And he's insane. He's
made some good ones in the last 20 years too. Some good ones.
Oh yeah. And they call him I forget what the nickname is, but it's One Take Clint is his nickname on movie sets, because he's notorious for coming in, finishing a movie early and under budget. Because he literally will just set an actor up. It's like, all right, action. They do one take. It's like, all right, we got it. That's good. Moving on. Like, he's just very efficient in his movie making, which is why he keeps being able to make movies like this. But yeah, the guy's like 95 now, I think. And he's still going.
The Fistful of Dollars movie, that one is the one when he comes into town. Isn't there two families that are kind of feuding on power of the town and stuff like that?
Yep. Might have been for a few dollars more.
Yeah, because there's 3 of them. I haven't seen these in a while, but
it's the one when it's the Mexican family and then
and the sheriff John Baxter. Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, the Baxters and the
played by Wolfgang Lukshi, which if you know who that is, I'll give you $1.
And,
is that the movie where he wears the boilerplate and tells him to aim at the heart? Aim at the heart? Or is that a few dollars more?
Boy, Bob, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can never remember.
It's one of them, though.
Let's see. Let's see what Google says. It is a fistful of dollars.
No, yeah.
Aim for the heart. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie, too.
All right, well, Sam, you've got another pick.
I do. And let's see. I'll knock off a pre 1970s classic.
All right.
And I think this is a movie that Dad, you actually showed me for the first time. And it's The Bridge on the River Kwai.
Abbott and Costello beat Frankenstein?
No, it's the Bridge on the River
Kwai. There's no comedy movie.
We were gonna do a comedy movie, but we did not. Hey, we can adjust the draft now and put in a comedy movie category.
We can.
I think my less than 60% Rotten Tomatoes is a comedy movie, so we're good.
Okay, well there we go.
Go ahead, Sam.
We're covered.
Still have a wild card, so
yeah, there you
go.
So
many great lines from comedy movies,
right?
And you can just recite them, and people know, like, what knockers. Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
Oh man.
All right, yeah. The pre-1970s classic that I'm gonna pick is Bridge on River Kwai.
Oh, good movie.
Yep. Alec Guinness.
That's a good movie.
So.
Don't they all whistle like building the bridge?
Yep. Yeah. Again, like I said, this is like when you think of a typical dad war movie, like this movie instantly comes to mind.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like if you had to pick one movie that was the dad movie, it is probably this one.
But yeah. Again,
story, I think.
I think you showed me this to me. You showed this to me. I don't know. I was a teenager. So.
Yep. That was Papa's one of his favorite movies.
Yeah.
My dad's favorite.
Loosely based on true events.
I think so.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this movie was nominated for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Academy Awards. I just want you to take a guess how many it won.
I saw it.
It won 7 of the 8 Academy Awards it was nominated for, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, and Film Editing and Score. And it only lost on Supporting Actor.
Who directed it?
Wild Academy Awards year for this movie.
David Lean directed it.
David Lean, yep.
He also did
David Lean.
David Lean, huh?
Yep. Lawrence of Arabia.
Yes. Yes, Lawrence of Arabia.
And Dr. Zhivago.
Okay, well, back to Dad. You have another pick?
I have another pick. Okay, I have a sci-fi pick. And this is really hard for me because I really like sci-fis and westerns. That's the kind of movies I like to watch. So I have 100 sci-fis, but probably, and I think it qualifies as sci-fi, fantasy type of thing. But I've liked this movie since I was probably 4, and that's The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll give it to you in sci-fi, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of science fiction. I mean, it was done probably in the 30s, so they didn't have much. Well, they did have science fiction back then. Flash Gordon and whatever.
You know what? Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah. I won't be a stickler on the specific rules here. I think
I have others, but that's my favorite movie.
Well, I mean,
it is kind of sci-fi-ish. You know, they live.
Let's see what Wikipedia has to say. Wikipedia calls it a musical fantasy film.
Yeah, sci-fi fantasy. Okay. Isn't sci-fi and fantasy the same?
I'll give it to you, Bob.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll give it to you.
So the 19. Okay. So the 19. It does have like holograms and screens in the movie.
We're really pushing the boundary here, but
so, I mean, I was also thinking about powerful Oz.
Right. Yeah. The guy behind the screen.
With flames and a tin man that walks and talks.
Okay, sure. I'll give it to you. The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, well, if I can't go with that one, then I'm going to go with Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay, well, I'll give you Wizard of Oz.
All right.
Little bit of a category manipulation here, but that's okay.
It's fine.
That's all right. No, I mean, this is a great movie. This is also I when I was a child, I started a play. I played the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz at my elementary school.
Yep.
We have it on film.
Oh boy.
This movie actually scared me when I was a kid and watched it. Those creepy
when I was
monkeys.
A kid. Oh. Wow, when them monkeys came flying out and stuff, I'd be all huddled in my grandmother's arms and stuff. Oh yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
And then it became a great babysitter. Because as I got older, my sister and brother, came around, and then my family would always get together, once in a while to play cards. Well, they always played cards on Wizard of Oz night because it was like a 3.5-hour movie, so they know we'd be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It set us up with popcorn and the TV, and we'd watch Wizard of Oz.
That's awesome.
And believe me, in the 70s, when my grandfather got a color TV, wow, that was unbelievable.
So we'll get off topic a little bit, but talking about playing cards. My parents would always play cards on Saturday nights, and it was my one night that I was able to stay up late because on channel 56 on TV was something called Creature Double Feature.
Yeah,
and it would be like Godzilla and Ghidorah and Rodan. It was all the old original Godzilla type movies. And I was able to stay up late and watch Creature Double Feature till like 1:00 in the morning. That was fun. Talk about card nights. Because that would be my babysitter. They'd all be playing cards, and I would sit there and watch Creature Double Feature.
Card night. Wow. Nobody does that anymore.
We do.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys do. All right, Greg, you're up. You've got to pick.
Oh crap. All right, I guess I'll do war.
Okay.
I have two that are pretty good, but one of them is just a real good neat action kind of whodunit, spy, espionage. It's Clint Eastwood. It's one of the stars in it, and it also It also stars Richard Burton, and the movie's called Where Eagles Dare.
Where Eagles Dare. All right. Do I have that on the list? I feel like it was, or I don't know if I put it on there, but Where Eagles Dare.
Yeah.
What is the year? When did that come out?
1968.
All right.
So I think what's neat about that movie is it's just a real fun movie, and I'm a big, when I look at war movies, I like the old World War II movies. That's my favorite. Is anything World War II, The Longest Day, Patton, Bridge Too Far, Bridge on the River Kwai, all those movies, just Midway, all those Pacific naval movies and stuff. But Where Eagles Dare is just a fun movie. Clint Eastwood's a lieutenant from the American Army. He gets together with Richard Burton, who's in the British Army Secret Service, and they drop into, I think, Austria in the wintertime. They parachute in with other people in their group, and they're going in to save a captured general, a colonel that's in this mountaintop castle. And I won't give it away because it's a really cool movie. Maybe we'll watch it while you're home, Sam.
Yeah,
but
sure.
But because I have it at home, so
Nice.
It's just a fun movie. It's neat. There's a big twist at the end which you didn't expect when you first watch it, and you're like, oh, okay. But a lot of action, a lot of gun, a lot of firearms fighting and stuff like that. So
nice. That's a fun pick. We're getting a lot of unexpected picks, and I love it. I love it.
Well, Aaryn, I was trying to do something where you didn't have anything on your list, so it gives you guys other movies to watch that you don't know about. That was kind of my when I was going into this. That's what my plan was. Is hey, I'm going to pick something. That. I think there's only one movie on here that I have that I've picked that it's on your list. So
all right, well, I'm gonna continue to roll off the list. I'm gonna dive into 80s action. We have not touched this category yet, but I think it feels too late to have not taken this movie. It is one of the greatest action movies ever made, one of the most innovative and influential action movies ever made, and made by a couple of my favorite filmmakers of all time and starring one of my favorite actors of all time, and that's 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
A movie that absolutely redefined what an action movie was. Steven Spielberg made this movie with the audience in mind, thinking, okay, I'm going to make a movie that every 10 minutes has an action set piece, has something to keep the audience in. And if you time it out, every 10 minutes, something happens that is going to be thrilling. You've got the opening intro, and then you've got the traveling to Egypt and the chase through Cairo, and you've got the fight at the on the
bazaar there.
The fight and then the fight with the plane with the big guy where he launches him into a propeller, which is one of the most insane action sequences of the 80s.
And after all that, the big guy with the knife comes all out and he just shoots him.
Yeah.
Yes, and one of the most iconic moments. It's so good. And I love Harrison Ford, and this was made by Spielberg and George Lucas, and those are some of my favorite filmmakers. So Raiders of the Lost Ark is coming off the board.
They said that Harrison Ford actually had food poisoning that day of filming that, and they were supposed to be like this big fight sequence, but he had food poisoning. He just wasn't feeling well, and he just wanted to shoot him. So
right. You're right.
Yeah, it was like a whole sequence. They with the whip and everything like that, and it would have been crazy. He was like, "Can I just shoot him?" They're like, "Sure, why not?" It became one of the most iconic character moments.
And I know it's probably a stupid question, but you guys know whose story Indiana Jones is from?
I probably do, but it escapes my mind.
So this is George Lucas's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wasn't. I think he went to Steven Spielberg because he was having a battle with 20th Century Fox or something, and he went to Spielberg and said, "Hey, do this movie for me," and they kind of got together and did it. It's been just a great success.
Oh yeah. And it was like the perfect partnership too, because George Lucas, incredible conceiver of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, creating Star Wars in itself was a huge accomplishment. And then, you know, he was able to just create these worlds. And then Spielberg was the one who'd be like, all right, George, you've got some good ideas. Let me actually make a movie and put something on screen that was just so iconic.
Well, isn't that really the best, though, when you get a good writer and then they get with a good, production outfit and then a good director?
Mm-hmm.
It's those people that make that book or those writings come to life,
Absolutely.
That imagination, it's incredible.
And I think Spielberg might be the greatest. Like, he wasn't a writer, but man, the guy could take a film and make it. Exactly.
Yes, he's a visualist. He can put it all down on film. That's what makes him so brilliant at what he does.
Absolutely. All right. I've got another pick here. And I've got war. I've got sci-fi. Got pre-1970s classics to go. I think I might dip into sci-fi. And I could take Star Wars. I think any of us could take Star Wars and sci-fi. But I'm not going to. Instead, I'm gonna go a little bit later down the line here. I'm gonna pick a movie that has become one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever, because of where it's set, and it's just like a good sci-fi action romp. And that's gonna be 1990s Total Recall.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. I love sci-fi where it feels grounded in, like, this is us, but what if we were, 150 years in the future or whatever, and space travel was real, and we were on a moon, and whatever. And it just ticks all those boxes, and it's a really cool story about a guy who just wants to change what his life is like and has the opportunity to do so. And then things obviously go wrong and aren't as they seem, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the great action movie heroes that we've had. It's just a fun movie. Sharon Stone as well is excellent, and
oh yeah, I forgot she was in there. That's right.
Yep, and directed by Paul Verhoeven, who's one of my favorite filmmakers. It's a great movie. So, Total Recall.
All right.
And we are now back to Greg.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yep. Yes, you.
Oh boy. I guess I'll hit 80s action.
All right.
So this is, let's see, 1987. Had a lot of big stars in it, and I'll see if you guys, maybe Bob will guess this if I go through it. So one was Robert De Niro was in it. Andy Garcia.
Oh. Well,
Sean Connery. And Kevin Costner had the lead role. Really interesting, fun kind of spin on history with the gangsters and during Prohibition, and that's The Untouchables.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I've never seen that movie.
Oh, Bob, you'll love it. You got to watch it.
Never saw that.
You got to
movie.
watch it. Yeah. You got Kevin Costner you got Kevin Costner, who's Elliot Ness, who comes into Chicago and doesn't have a friggin' clue about fighting Al Capone, and then he entrusts Sean Connery, who's kind of a beat cop, and pulls him into the Treasury Department to help him fight Capone. And really,
I think I saw some trailers on it. Didn't Sean Connery play like an old Irish cop or something?
Yep. Bob, you got to watch it.
To the group with Elliot Ness, the Fed.
He's an honorary SOB who just does. He's tough.
An old school Irish cop.
Old school tough guy, and
rather thump you than talk to you.
yeah. And so just a real great movie.
I got to see it.
Yeah, it's good.
Never seen that movie.
Really, really good action movie, and then just kind of Kevin Costner, who doesn't have a clue, and Sean Connery kind of takes him under his wing and says, "Hey, you want to beat Capone? Let's do it this way." And Connery's straight laced, everything by the law, and Sean Connery's yep. I'd rather thump you than talk to you or arrest you. But great movie.
Directed by Brian De Palma. was one of our great filmmakers as well. Scarface and movies of in that vein. All right, Dad, back to you.
Oh, all right. Well, I got a pre-70s movie.
Okay.
I think it was done in like right around 1950. Winchester 73.
Okay.
Good movie.
Yeah.
It's basically a movie about a prized Winchester, an 1873 Winchester. It's set in like 1876, and this guy wins this Winchester, and this other guy who plays a villain part steals it. And the whole story is about this perseverance of this person following him through whatever to find this rifle. And it's kind of cool because in the end, he does get to retain the rifle. The murderous villain gets his due. But it's a significantly historic movie. It was enshrined in the archives of the United States in like 2015 or something like that. For safekeeping, for historical value. I liked that it was all about perseverance and getting what was right and making things right and making sure that wrong was punished and right stands above.
That was Jimmy Stewart, right? Was Jimmy Stewart in that? I think it was Jimmy Stewart.
Yes, he was. Jimmy Stewart.
That was Jimmy Stewart, and that was the first of several films where he and what was the guy's name? The guy that directed it, Anthony Mann was the director, and he they did like 10 films together. And Shelley Winters was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Rock Hudson was in it.
Rock Hudson.
All right.
It was a really good movie.
It was good.
So I don't get two picks, so I guess I'm done now.
Yeah, but you get. Hey,
this is why
Sam had to wait another 7 picks.
Yeah, this is why I hate going first because 2 of my picks got taken. So,
oof.
Which were they, Sam?
Raiders and Total Recall.
Oh,
hey! Oh. I took both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was the other ones.
Yeah,
Winchester 73 wasn't on your big board.
The world.
She wore a
right.
She wore a yellow ribbon. Yeah. Wasn't there? Yeah.
The day the Earth stood still. I thought you would have picked that one.
Yeah. The Wizard of Oz wasn't on your sci-fi list. Oh man.
Oh, what's this red button do?
No.
All right. I guess I should dive into the 80s action now too. And he's already made an appearance in the 80s action. I'm going to take another Harrison Ford movie. I'm taking Blade Runner, the original 1982.
Good pick.
Which one?
Excellent movie.
1982 Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Is that with Wesley
Snipes? One of my favorites.
No, that was Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Was he in that?
Wesley
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes is Blade. Just Blade.
Ah, yes, Blade. Sorry, wrong Blade. Blade Runner, the Harrison Ford movie,
the sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was the cop.
Yeah,
Deckard.
Yeah, the cop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've talked about this previously on the podcast, but Harrison Ford in the 80s was absolutely unstoppable.
Oh yeah,
he had such a filmography in the 80s. All the Indiana Jones, Empire and Return, Blade Runner, and all these other great movies in the 80s. And the Blade Runner I love it too. And it's good because the newer Blade Runner, Blade Runner 2049, is like just as good. Because a lot of these sequels are like remakes, like the Total Recall remake that they did with Colin Farrell, like that's not that great, but so
good pick.
Yep.
All right, you've got another pick.
Right. I don't think anybody's. I don't know. We'll see. What else do I need? I need Western. Can you put 80s action on mine?
Yeah, I will. I will drop that in there. Where is Blade Runner?
It's under sci-fi.
Okay, Blade Runner.
Yeah. So I got Western, sci-fi, misunderstood, and my wild card left. Nobody's really dived into misunderstood, but I think I can save that one. I guess the other two I can do. Let me just get my sci-fi out of the way. Actually,
it's a lot of choices. There's a lot of choices.
Let's hold off on that. I'm gonna get my Western out of the way. It's gonna kind of be a non-conventional pick, but it is technically still classifies as a Western. It is Back to the Future 3.
Oh my God. I cannot believe you just took. There are so many Westerns on this list.
No,
and you took Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
You could have had Last of the Mohicans.
That's not a Western.
It's basically a Western.
As much of a Western as
Wizard of Oz
is a sci-fi.
Yeah. Wait a minute. We gave Bob Wizard of Oz. We didn't give Sam Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. All right, Back to the Future Part 3. It's a solid movie. It's Em's favorite Back to the Future.
Yeah, it depends on my mood. Like it goes between obviously the first one and the third one. And if I'm really in a Western mood, then I like Part 3 better. But again, it has the shoot for the heart. He has his the thing
taken from Fistful of Dollars.
Yep. So
look at that,
and it has ZZ Top in it too.
Wild. Wild. All right, Dad, it is back to you.
Again?
You've got. Yep, it's back to you again. It comes around quick. So you have an
80s action.
Okay.
My 80s action movie is a great movie about banding together, good over evil, overcoming the odds. It does all of that. It's Silverado.
Silverado. Okay.
Yeah,
do I have
great
that here?
movie.
No.
Danny Glover, Costner, of course.
Yeah, good movie.
Kevin Kline.
Yeah. Brian Dennehy. He's one of my favorite actors, actually.
Brian Dennehy.
Linda Hunt's in it.
Yeah, he kind of plays
Hunt.
really kind of just low-key type of parts, but he's a really good actor. He played in Cocoon and...
What year was that? 1985.
So maybe you could tell me something about... I just kind of looked it up right here. It's directed and written by... Looks like all people that are related.
So it's directed by Lawrence Kasdan, who also directed movies like so Lawrence Kasdan most famously was the co-writer, the main writer really of Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Is kind of like his most famous, and he also wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he was a very prominent writer, and then he also directed movies like Silverado, The Big Chill from 1983, and Body Heat from 1981, and then also Wyatt Earp from 1994 directed that.
That was the new one with
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Quaid. Who played Doc Holliday?
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
That's right.
Yep. Good movie. So he often collaborated with his whole family on these projects. His wife Meg, his brother Mark, and his sons Jonathan and Jake Kasdan. And he often cast Kevin Kline and William Hurt into his movies, which.
There was a lot of people in that movie. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was in that movie. There was a lot of people in that movie.
Danny Glover was in it.
Danny Glover.
John Cleese. So.
Who?
Yeah, good pick. Yeah. All right, Greg, back to you.
That's what I said. Huh. It is, huh?
Checking my list out here. All right, I'm going to do most misunderstood.
Oh, okay. Diving into misunderstood
categories. So it could classify as a cowboy movie, but it was, hold on. It starred Tom Selleck
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that got a reaction.
Alan Rickman was in it. He was the bad guy. So
Okay.
that's what, Severus Snape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a cowboy who travels to Australia to work for a hired
Quigley Down Under.
ranch. Quigley Down Under.
Great
Nice.
movie.
It was rated 52% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it qualifies. Absolutely.
So he's to go down. He was going there, and what he was known for is he had this rifle, and he was a sharpshooter. He could shoot for forever and hit his targets. And that's why this rancher, who was Alan Rickman, who was a evil rancher trying to take over everything, and he went down there to work for him. And then Quigley finds out how bad he is and how he's treating the Aborigines and the people of Australia. So he tells Alan Rickman to go pound sand. And then it's just a battle of survival and kind of get back at Alan Rickman and, kind of save the day and save the Aborigines. So just a fun, good, solid Western.
What's your best line from that movie? Your favorite line?
Oh,
I tell you mine.
Boy. Go ahead, Bob.
Mine is the very last scene of the movie where he looks down at the guy. What was his name? Rickman, that he just killed, and he shot,
Rickman.
and he goes, "Yeah." Said I never had a use for one. Never said I didn't know how to use it.
Right, the pistol.
When he sticks that Colt in his belt.
Right. Because he didn't carry a pistol. All he did was carry a rifle.
Carried a rifle.
Yeah.
So the guy said, "Put the rifle down in front of him," and he says, "No, kick it away. Get my second Colt. Put it." It seems to me I remember you not too familiar with Colonel Colts, right? And he says, said I never had no use for one. Never said I didn't know how to use
one. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That was a great line.
Yeah. But good movie.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a really good movie.
God. All right, Greg. Or no, you just picked. It's me. It's me. Sorry. You just picked. Okay. You've got me inspired. I'm actually going to dip into misunderstood because this was probably the category where I was struggling the most with finding a movie. But I found a movie that I personally love and am going to take. This is a movie that stars Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, and Julia Roberts, and was made by the great Steven Spielberg, and has a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that is 1991's Hook.
Hook?
Yeah, Hook.
Is that what you said? With Dustin Hoffman?
Yes. Yep. This is Steven Spielberg's retelling of Peter Pan. I've watched this movie countless times growing up. It was like, I don't know if I was like right in the sweet spot for it, but it's always had a soft spot in my heart. The sets are cool. It's practical effects, which is always great. And I love Robin Williams, and I think Dustin Hoffman played a great villain. It's a good movie. It's terribly misunderstood, and the fact that it has a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes is just horrible. So I'm taking Hook in my misunderstood. And that leaves me with another pick, and I've got, let's see, war movie and pre-1970s classics. So I'm gonna man. You know what? I'm also going to go with an unconventional pick in war movies because I was thinking about triple dipping into Spielberg and taking Saving Private Ryan, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to take a movie that Dad showed me probably about 10 years ago now, if I had to guess. This is a movie that stars Clint Eastwood from 1970, and that is Kelly's Heroes.
Ooh, good movie.
Oh, great movie. Telly Savalas.
Good movie.
Yes. This is
Telly Savalas. Who else is in there? I can see him. I just don't
Donald was it Donald Sutherland?
Yeah, Sutherland.
Sutherland was in that.
This was a movie that I was skeptical about when you told me about it. I was like, what is this? You know? and watched it because the way you described it to me was, it's a war movie. It's got Clint Eastwood. It's got Don Rickles in a non-funny role. And I was like, what is going on? And then I watched it. I was engaged the whole time. I was in. It's a fun movie. A whole bunch of these like crazy cast of soldiers getting secret information about hidden gold in enemy territory. And their plan to get the gold. And it's a fun movie. It's a war comedy, and it's great.
Yeah. The two things that there's one scene in that movie where they're in the town fight going after the gold in the bank and the tiger tanks, and they're fighting with them. And it was the one guy, I think it was his cowboy, and his kind of his sidekick, and they were hiding around the building, and a shell hits above them and blows up the outhouse that's outside the and I think Don Rickles is there with them, and crap game, that was Don Rickles' name, and then so they pull crap game out, and they all smell like crap and everything like that, and Cowboy and his friend, crap game's like, God, this is disgusting, this and that, and he looks at his buddy and he goes, kind of reminds you of home, doesn't it? I just this is classic, probably a cattle farmer who spells crap all day long, which was kind of a funny line. But the other thing I liked about that movie is, and you see a lot about this in the World War II movies, is that's why I like Saving Private Ryan, and I like Band of Brothers and stuff, is that you see a lot of these World War II movies, and at the time they just used whatever artillery, tanks and equipment that they had available. Kelly's Heroes was cool, is they had original Sherman tanks and original Tiger tanks. Those Tiger tanks were Tiger tanks, and that was pretty cool when you see these old movies and they have the original, equipment from World War II.
From the time, it is very cool. And I think one of the things too I like about these kind of movies, especially in World War II setting, is like Saving Private Ryan, Kelly's Heroes. They focus on a small group of people who are like part of a much larger operation, but it just basically comes down to like these were real people. These were I'm sure maybe in Kelly's Heroes it's played up for laughs a little bit, but they're normal people that were just conscripted into this effort by their country, and we're just doing the best they can. Saving Private Ryan was the same thing. The big thing about that movie too, one is we got to save this kid who's just a private, and then they get to him and he's just a kid who no one really likes all that much. And then Tom Hanks's character, it's like the sub story is, what was he before? And this is a teacher. This guy was a school teacher before being enlisted into the military and having to serve as a leader of a squad, so these are real people with real stories, and that's kind of part of what I like.
It's like the one you got on your list, Aaryn, is similar to that, is the Guns of Navarone.
Yes,
we have this ragtag group of people just trying to fight their way across country to destroy those big guns.
Exactly.
And another thing with these like older war movies too, like we have Kelly's Heroes, we have The Great Escape, Patton, like they're all like 2.5 to 3 hours long, but like it doesn't feel like it because it just moves.
Kelly's Heroes is 2.5 hours long, and you wouldn't even know it.
Correct.
All right,
and they're nonstop. They're nonstop. They just keep going.
Absolutely. All right, Greg, back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you. Just like that.
All right, where am I?
You have starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood, and pre-1970s classic, and your wild card.
So I will say that I'm going to go back a little bit. The under 60% Critics' Choice, my second choice, and this was my comedy, Dracula Dead and Loving It. Mel Brooks.
Love it.
Classic spin on Dracula. But anyways, let's go a little sentimental here. Let's go pre-70s classic.
Okay.
So pre-70s classic, one of my favorites. I have several of them. But being that it's the holiday season, it's one of my favorite.
I know where this is going.
Hold on.
I know where.
You know what it is, right, Sam?
We watched it the other night, right?
Watched it the other night. 1954 Christmas musical comedy starring Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, White Christmas.
Nice.
White Christmas, good movie. Good movie.
So Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye start off, World War II. They're both entertainers. Bing Crosby is a huge entertainer. Danny Kaye needs to work his way up. They get together. They start a duo act, and then they run into Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen, who are the Haynes sisters, who they kind of give them some pointers to. And the next thing you know, the four of them are on a train to Vermont to this inn where the Haynes sisters are playing, and come to find out the owner of the inn is the retired general that Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye had in World War II. And then he's struggling, and it just kind of goes from there. Just a good feel-good movie, good music, acting, dancing, singing, things like that. So that's a must for Sarah and I. Every year we'll watch it 2-3 times. Just throw it on TV and watch that.
All right, Dad, we're back to you. Just like that.
I'll do the misunderstood category.
Oh, he's prepared this time. He's locked in.
But yeah, it's actually a movie that I saw it when it was pretty new. In fact, maybe even it was the end of the 60s anyways. My uncle was in Vietnam. My other one had just been drafted. Things were kind of crazy. It's the Green Berets.
Green Berets.
Starring John Wayne.
Yep.
And it was the first time as a youngster of about 13 years old or so that I actually saw anything other than what was on the news those days of what Vietnam might have been like. And I just thought it was really sad in a lot of ways because one of the main characters was killed in the movie. It was just it was very enlightening to me about, wow, is Vietnam really like this? Is this where my uncles are? Is this what they're doing? And of course I was young, probably 13 or 14 years old, so I didn't really understand a whole lot about what was going on then. I just knew that there was that was a time that, say, 66 to 70 was the time where a lot of your family, Aaryn, served in Vietnam, and there was a lot of, as a family, we were all the adults anyways, were all pretty much glued to the news every night because you would hope that if they showed any war footage that you could catch a glimpse of your loved one or that you could get some news, or because, back then in the 60s, media didn't move like it does today. We had to wait 6 months to see if we got a letter, or 3 months, or, and GIs wrote home when they could, and they didn't actually write what you wanted to hear. Mostly you wanted to hear when they were going to come home, and nobody really knew. So, yeah, I'm not sure why it's on the misunderstood, simply because it probably didn't do well on Rotten Tomatoes. But,
it has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So, but anyways, it was a real movie, and I was surprised to see it on that list because, like I said, it was it's probably the first movie that I actually watched as a kid that had more than an entertainment value. You know what I mean? It meant something more than just a movie to go see for entertainment. It actually was a part of what we were living at the time. So that would be my misunderstood movie.
All right. And now to Sam. You've got two picks here.
So now what do I have left? I have, let's see, sci-fi
and wild card. And misunderstood.
Oh boy. All right. So I'm still going back and forth on my sci-fi. There's one movie that I'd be remiss that I can't, I should not pick it. Because it's one of my top 25 movies of all time and my favorite comedy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just have to pick it. I have to go with Spaceballs.
Baseballs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to go with it.
Which category are you putting that in?
Sci-fi.
In sci-fi. Oh wow. Not in misunderstood is an interesting take.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I mean,
Pizza the Hut.
Yep.
Pizza the Hut.
We've talked about Spaceballs on the podcast a bunch of other times. Just all the one-liners in the movie. Mel Brooks is a genius this time. So yeah, can't go wrong with it.
Classic. One of my favorites.
Yep.
It's on my top 10.
And again, I think a little bit too young of when you showed me.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too young. But
yeah. Yeah.
That's
okay. You miss some of the adult humor when you watch it too young.
Right.
But then once you watch it again, it's like Blazing Saddles. Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right, and that gives you
yep,
another pick.
Yep. I think I'm gonna go with my wild card.
Okay.
So this movie again, one of my top movies that I've seen. It's The Last of the Mohicans. I have to pick it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There it is. Last of the Mohicans.
I have to pick it. Daniel Day-Lewis, one of my favorite performance from him of all time. And again, this movie kind of snuck up on me. I had to watch it for one of my ROTC classes in college, and I didn't realize how good this movie was. So,
classic movie.
Yep,
great movie.
Emotional, like good action. The ending was just gets you at the end, and yeah. So,
all right, Dad, you've got 2 categories left. You've got starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood, and your wild card.
Oh, I got that. Newman. I don't know why you didn't add Stewart in that list.
Well, I was trying to keep the list a little bit tight because then, we got 4 people. I've got 4 actors, and that becomes a very large list of movies very quickly.
All right, I'll do my wild card.
Okay.
And that is going to be the Cheyenne Social Club.
What?
Okay. I have never even heard of this movie.
Me neither.
Oh, you got to see it then. It stars Henry Fonda and James Stewart. Also has, what's her name there? Shirley Jones in it.
Okay.
You know Shirley Jones from the Partridge Family, right?
So what is it called? Cheyenne what?
The Cheyenne Social Club. It was made in 1970. It's a Western. It's about 2 guys, 2 cowpokes that inherit a social club, and they come to town to collect it. And one of the cowboys is just a regular kind of cowboy guy, likes to drink, likes the saloons and so forth. And the other guy, he's his partner, and he tolerates all of that, but he's more of a religious, straightforward guy, looking to get married, to make a living, to have money, that type of stuff. And they go and they inherit this social club. Come to find out it's a brothel. So it goes from there. And the whole deal is that, Jimmy Stewart, who is the more stand-up religious type of guy, he wants to sell it. And Henry Fonda's perfectly happy living at the social club, getting to know the inhabitants. So, and it goes about how there's villains involved and how they end up, with the town, and nobody in the town wants them to get rid of the social club, like, the sheriff and the mayor and all of them people.
Yeah.
It's a comedy type of Western. There is a villain, there's a gunfight, there's a little bit of everything in the movie for you. But yeah, if you like the old movies and the old actors, I would highly recommend it. It's a really good movie.
I am adding it to my list right now.
Yeah.
Cheyenne Social Club.
All right. Wow. Okay. Well, I need to add this to my list, but then that brings us to Greg. You've got 2 picks left as well. Same categories.
Well, I'm going to go with my Newman, Redford, Hackman, and Eastwood. So this actor, all of these guys, as you know, all have these huge roles out there, and this could have been my wild card or this category. But I don't think you have it on your list.
I might not. I pulled a select few of their most iconic.
And people don't really. They sometimes don't know that he was in this movie, but it is probably my most favorite comedy, and that is a 1974 Mel Brooks movie starring Gene Wilder in Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, and then Gene Hackman had a cameo role as the blind man.
Yep.
That the Frankenstein monster goes and visits. Yep. So.
And who was the woman that oversaw the house? Was that Cloris Leachman? Was that
Cloris Leachman? Yeah, yes. Frau Blucher.
Oh, she was a great actress.
Blucher. Yeah.
Every time they mentioned her name, you'd hear the horses in the back.
So some great actors and actresses. You had the old Marty Feldman, Terry Garr, Madeline Kahn. It's a lot of great.
Peter Boyle.
That's right.
Peter Boyle too.
All I remember about him in that movie is the hump kept moving from side to side.
Yeah, great movie. I could watch that movie over and over and over again. And there's one of those movies where there's so many lines you can use. Yeah.
What brain did you get me? Abby somebody.
Abby Normal.
Abby Normal?
Classic.
Oh, incredible. We did a full episode on the podcast on Young Frankenstein, we did. And it was a riot.
It was a great movie.
Oh, yeah?
There was so many great scenes in that movie.
All right, it's me. I've got my last two picks of the draft. We're coming up on the end here. I've got pre-1970s classic, and I've got wild card. This is tough because I've got a lot of different movies, and you know what? I think in pre-1970s, again, we're gonna go through some of the more standard picks, and I think we've kind of gone quite a few non-standard picks here. So I'm gonna continue that trend, and I'm gonna go again with a movie that Dad showed me years and years ago. Another Western, because of course that is like the genre. That was the genre in our household. And a John Wayne feature. And I'm going to go with 1963's McClintock, whatever, however you want to pronounce it.
McClintock.
Just a fun comedy about a sheriff who's kind of a drunk and just is, having marital troubles and set in this frontier town. It's a fun movie. It's been years since I've seen it, and it's a fun one.
Your mother and I actually watched that from time to time.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
So that is my pick for that, and then wild card.
One of his sons in that movie, right? In McClintock? I think one of his sons are in that.
Patrick Wayne, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Patrick Wayne plays Devlin Warren.
Right.
Yeah, Devlin.
And then that leaves me with my wild card as the last pick of this draft. And I think I would be remiss if I didn't take a Rob Reiner movie, I think, in this category. So I'm going to go with probably my favorite Rob Reiner and one of my 25 favorite movies of all time, and that's going to be A Few Good Men, which is just a classic courtroom movie. Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise going head to head, trying to figure out what happened with the murder of this soldier down in Cuba, and it's just a great movie. Fantastic performances. Demi Moore is in the movie, which is wild. She's got a major role, way too good for her to be in that movie, but it's an incredible film. So I'm ending my draft with A Few Good Men. You Can't Handle the Truth. Okay, we are now at Greg for your final pick of the draft.
Back to me.
Yep,
this is your wild card. You can pick any movie you like.
Any movie
I like.
Any movie.
Well, I will tell you, I watched this movie over and over and over again. I think I had two of them. I could have picked two, but this is just a really creepy, neat movie back from 1971, starring starring I'm sorry.
Stars someone. Someone's in the movie.
Jesus.
I can play
Burt
the Jeopardy
Lancaster.
music.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Burt Lancaster. I'm sorry. Burt Lancaster. And it's a mix between like sci-fi, horror, thriller, and it's the Omega Man.
The Omega Man.
Oh,
okay.
Omega.
Again, I've never heard of
Michael
it.
Crichton book.
Yeah. So the Omega Man, Charlton Heston. It's Charlton. I'm sorry, not Burt Lancaster. Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston it's during this plague, and it kills everybody on Earth, and he's like the last man alive, and he has to survive. The movie, the one with Will Smith there. What's the modern one?
Legend.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah.
I Am Legend is based off of this book and movie, but this is the original called the Omega Man. And he's just struggling to survive himself. And
I think it was written by.
Yeah, it's just a great movie. Just a great, it's kind of creepy parts of it. And come to find out there's these people who, because of the virus that went through, they still lived, but they could only come out at night. And just a fun, cool, kind of creepy movie.
Nice. All right. Well, Dad, that leaves you with your final pick, a Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood film.
That would be Gran Torino.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Gran Torino. Okay.
With Eastwood, yeah. It was actually it was one of his highest grossing films at that time. It was actually that well, but I like it because it was a it all starts out. The movie starts out with a gang. They want this guy's car. He's got a Gran Torino, and they solicit a young kid in the neighborhood to be a gang member, and to be a gang member, that's his task, because he has to steal this guy's car. And Clint Eastwood thwarts it, and he gets caught, and he develops a relationship with this kid, and kind of just shows him right from wrong, and shows him what it is to stand up for good and stand up against evil. And it's a good movie. It had a good story all the way through, and I really enjoyed that movie. Besides, he had an M1 Garand. That's cool.
Yeah, that's also that's always cool.
Yeah, of course.
Sort of a war feature, only not quite.
Oh man! All right, so Gran Torino comes off the board. That brings us around to Sam for the final pick of our draft.
Even on the board?
I don't believe I had it on the Eastwoods. Oh no, I did.
Yeah, you did. It's there. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So me and my medieval and period piece classics.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my top 25 movies this is one of my childhood favorites. Me and Alex used to watch this all the time. It has a stacked cast. Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen, Chris O'Donnell, Tim Curry, Oliver Platt. It's 1993's The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Great.
It has a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Absurd.
And
absurd.
The Three Musketeers.
Oh yeah.
The Disney one.
The Disney one.
That we owned. I still have our old VHS of the Three Musketeers that we had at home that I've owned for years and years.
It's such a classic.
Was that the one with Charlie Sheen and
Yeah.
That was the original one. That was really cool. That was a cool movie. It was a fun movie.
Yes. Made by Disney in like their live action era. This is a great film.
The 90s live action Disney was they were awesome too.
Awesome.
Well, that was when they owned and they were using Buena Vista Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was Buena Vista. Yeah, so Buena Vista Pictures was like their live action division for a long time, and they made some excellent films. But all right, well that wraps up our movie draft. So why don't we just run down the line here, recap our picks.
Yeah.
Sam, how did your picks shake out?
All right. Yeah, I lost a few, but I think I'm pretty confident that I made a pretty good team. Even though again I lost a few. But starting from the left, for my Western, I picked Back to the Future Part 3.
Absurd pick. Crazy pick.
War, I have Schindler's List. 80s action, I have Blade Runner 1982 with Harrison Ford. Starring Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Gene Hackman, or Clint Eastwood, I had A Fistful of Dollars. Sci-fi movies, I had Spaceballs. Pre-1970s, I had Bridge on the River Kwai. Misunderstood, I have The Three Musketeers. In my wild card, I have The Last of the Mohicans.
All right. Dad, how did your team shake out?
For my Western, I had Tombstone. For my war picture, I had She Wore a Yellow Ribbon with John Wayne. For my sci-fi fantasy, I had Wizard of Oz. For my pre-70s movie, I had The Winchester 73 starring Jimmy Stewart. For my 80s action, I had Silverado. For my Misunderstood, I had The Green Berets with John Wayne. For my wild card, I had The Cheyenne Social Club starring Fonda and Stewart. And for my, what was the last category?
The starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood.
Eastwood was Gran Torino.
All right. And Greg, how about you?
So I can go through it, but real quick, as I look at my list, I can tell you that if I'm sitting at the TV and I see one of these movies on, or I can get it quickly to download it or watch it, I will sit there and watch it. I'm like Bob. If I'm halfway through the movie, I would probably sit there and watch it because
if I flip the channels and one of these come on, I'll probably watch the rest of it.
That's how all of these movies shake out, I think. But for the Westerns, one of my it's John Wayne, but my favorite with John Wayne is Rio Bravo. But I think this is my second favorite is the Cowboys. Clint Eastwood in a war movie, Where Eagles Dare, 1968. And then for my 80s action, awesome action movie, The Untouchables, 1987 with Kevin Costner. And then the cameo role, Young Frankenstein with Gene Hackman, my most favorite comedy movie out there. Sci-fi, 1951 black and white classic, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Pre-70s classic, 1954. Holiday season, love it, watch it constantly every year. White Christmas, and then Misunderstood, Quigley Down Under, just another fun action movie. Great actors in that, actresses. And then for my wild card, haven't seen it in a while, but it's not usually on that frequently. But again, struggle to survive type movie, The Omega Man with Charlton Heston.
All right, and my team here, I went with a good mix of movies that I love and then movies that Dad showed me. So Western was Unforgiven, War was Kelly's Heroes, 80s action, Raiders of the Lost Ark, starring Newman, Redford, Hackman, or Eastwood was All the President's Men. Sci-fi movies was Total Recall, pre-1970s classic was McClintock, Misunderstood was Hook, and Wild Card was A Few Good Men. So the draft shook out, I think, pretty great. We got some real non-conventional picks, which I'm very happy about. And I do want to run down. I think you mentioned at the top
did
here.
We do Sam's picks yet?
Yeah, Sam did. Sam did his picks.
You did your picks first? Oh,
I did.
Where was I? I must have been out to lunch.
So I do want to run down, Greg, you mentioned at the beginning, running down some honorable mentions here. I do want to mention in Western, probably my favorite John Wayne is The Searchers from 1956. Incredible movie. Saw that for the first time in my film class in college. And it just absolutely blew me away. Well, any honorable mentions that you want to shout out here? I think Star Wars as a whole is kind of a general shout out for that.
So I'll give you one under Westerns. A couple good ones: Big Jake with John Wayne, and The Train Robbers. Those are a couple good ones there.
You all say the John Wayne movies, right? But one of my favorite John Wayne movies always was The Sons of Katie Elder.
Elder. Yep, that was the other one.
It's a good movie, you know. It's a family movie, and yeah, I always liked that movie.
Nice.
So I'm gonna. I don't know how much time you got, but I'll give you another one. Under War
please.
Movie with let's see. He is with Steve McQueen movie, World War II movie.
Yeah.
Hell is for Heroes.
Hell is for Heroes. All right.
Heroes.
Hell is for Heroes is another time where there's this small group of military army guys who just World War II have to just defend this area, fighting against this German pillbox, and then just really, and then Steve McQueen plays this really. He was a sergeant and he was busted down to private because he just was undisciplined, but he was just a great warrior.
I'll shout out. I've got a Western too. I want to shout out is 2003's Open Range with Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner.
Movie.
Classic.
Yeah,
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite Westerns.
Good movie. Really good movie.
Yeah.
He did another one too that was kind of almost based on the same type of deal with he was going across the country for a reason. I don't know if it was cattle or horses, but some Chinese girls had to go with them. They rescued them, and it was a pretty good movie too. There's a lot of good movies out there when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My favorite war picture though is probably or one that you don't hear of too often that I really liked was Saving Private Ryan. I think that's the best last war picture that I saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
Saving Private
great movie.
Ryan. That was a really good movie. Long, but it was a good movie.
Yeah. I like Glory from 1989, the Civil War movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other one that's good is Gettysburg. It's a series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was classic. That was a great series there too.
I just read something. They just did something with that Colonel Glory. There was some significance. They found something of his or something. Just recently, I read it in the media.
Interesting.
I don't know if it was a diary or writings, but they found something and they mentioned the colonel that died at Sumter.
Yeah.
That guy's family refused to let the government dig him up and rebury him in the government cemetery.
No.
That his family wanted him to lie with his soldiers there on the beach, and that's where he is.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I read that in the same article that they had released.
So there's two other comedies from the 1960s that we can. I mean, I don't probably want to wrap this up, Aaryn,
No, it's okay.
There's two 60s comedies that you guys really should watch that are just really goofy, dumb comedies, but it's one of them is It's a Mad World.
Yep.
Excellent.
Familiar.
Excellent
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but a lot of good actors and actresses
everybody's in that.
Yeah, Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Mickey Rooney, a bunch of different, but just a real goofy slapstick comedy, crazy movie. And the other one, while I was researching a bunch of this stuff last night and kind of going through things, there's one that I forget about that was an old one, and it was a 1966 film called The Russians Are Coming, and it was a slapstick humor where this Russian U-boat, submarine lands on the beaches of Nantucket, and the whole town is going nuts because the Russians are invading, and it was only reason why they were there was their submarine broke down, and they beached a submarine.
That's funny.
And again, actually, Rob Reiner's father, Carl Reiner, was in it, which was interesting. That's why I found it funny last night, and then a bunch of other different, pretty good up and coming stars.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess another couple comedies is like no Monty Pythons. I mean, we did
Monty Python.
We picked two Mel Brooks, but Mel Brooks had a couple other funny ones. So
that just means we'll have to do this again next year.
We'll have different categories.
Yeah, because you have a lot of categories you didn't choose.
Yeah,
we'll do different categories, and we'll do. You cannot take a movie that was taken in this draft.
Yeah,
you have to choose new movies.
Pick something new.
Yeah.
I better shut up then.
Yeah. Well, I do want to mention too. I appreciated a lot of the, like, we didn't go the conventional route. Like, it would have been really easy to just see like Lawrence of Arabia and The Great
Star
Escape
Wars.
and Magnificent Seven and all of those movies come off the board. Because they're classics for a reason. And but I appreciate that we had a lot of non-conventional picks. So this was a lot of fun. And we'll definitely do this again next year.
I probably would have chosen like Ben-Hur or something for a 70s movie or classic or something. Because those were all great movies at the time. Cleopatra and but I wanted to, look at the movies that I don't get to see too often, but that I really enjoy. And I don't watch horror movies, but there is one horror movie that scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. Every time I see it, I still think back of being on my grandmother's couch in her house going, holy crap. And it was called, I think it was so stupid. It was a B movie, I'm sure. And it was called Terror Island. It's about these big turtle things, or what they're like.
From 1966.
Something. Yeah. Old.
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, that sounds like
Peter
it.
Cushing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see the turtle looking things. Wow, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Terror Island. I think in that movie was the first time that I actually saw some gore, where the thing had its arm and they had to cut his arm off to get him away from it. So it scared the crap out of me as a kid.
That's awesome.
I was like 9 or something when I saw it. I was like, oh, this is not for me. Maybe that's what turned me off on horror.
Maybe it's like deep rooted, all the way. It's like 60 years.
Great childhood trauma.
Great. I got to do a podcast with my son to realize I've been traumatized by horror films my whole life.
Right.
Oh man.
By Terror Island.
Yeah.
And it was it was weird. It was like on a card night. My family was playing cards, and I was in the living room watching this movie. Scared the crap out of me.
That's funny. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Thank you. Thanks to our dads for being here. This is a great episode that I definitely want to do again. And if you like this episode, you should leave a rating, subscribe, follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Do all that fun stuff. It helps us out, lets us know you enjoy what we're doing, and we can make more pods like this. You can go, you can visit our socials. Those will be linked in the show notes below, including on our TikTok, which there will be highlights from this pod and all of our pods on socials. And you can go to our website, firstpicturehouse.com. And for Sam and I, you can visit our Letterboxd to see what we're watching when we're watching it. You don't have to wait. We didn't do these the Letterboxd recap this episode, so you can you got to check that out so that you don't miss out on all the things that we're watching. So thank you for listening, Sam. Thank you for being on the pod. We will not see you for a while, but this I think was a great way to give you a
follow the Letterboxd
so
you can see what I've been watching.
Exactly.
And you'll hear my input. You'll hear my inputs on the movies Dave record and stuff like that. So
you'll still be with us in spirit. But that said, we will see you on the Filmbox podcast next time.